Hello, fellow humans. Chris here again. So, today I wanted to share something that I read that I thought was interesting and maybe could be helpful for people. Currently reading this book called Mental Immunity by Andy Norman. And it's basically about why people cling to bad ideas in a nutshell. And I just read this part about differentiating between reasoning and rationalizing. And he went into this story about a professor who basically was saying to her class that anytime any societal norm that is based on the agreed upon assumption of the masses can't be true. He didn't remember the details of the argument, but the just sort of the general gist. So a student had raised his hand and said that same standard could be applied to your rule, which would therefore dismantle your argument. And again, he didn't have the specifics of the details, but I sort of looked at it as for any Star Wars nerds out there, like myself, when Obi-Wan says only a Sith deals in absolute, Star Wars fans would say, well, that's also an absolute to say that. So I kind of look at it like that. But anyway, the thing that I really sort of wanted to talk about was just the idea of rationalizing versus reasoning, because one of the things that I like to talk about a lot on this channel is bias in general and confirmation bias in particular. And the reason why I'm so fascinated by it is because it's part of the human condition, and it's something that none of us is immune to, myself included. And it's something that I touch on how, we all have things that we personally believe in, things that we personally think are important from a morality standpoint, and those things can and do define and determine our beliefs and even our assertions of reality, which again are not necessarily always true or accurate. And I thought it was interesting to just be mindful of that, to think about, are we reasoning or are we rationalizing? And the way I thought about it, I was kind of trying to think of how would I explain the nuance between reasoning and rationalizing. And what I came up with is, let's say you have the truth right here, right? And then you have, I said that wrong. You have your belief right here, right? You have the truth right here, and you have the untruth right here, all right? Bear with me. I just thought of this like 10 minutes ago. So reasoning would be taking your belief and finding your way to the truth over here, and making that truth part of your belief system. Rationalizing would be taking... Now, this is the part where it gets tricky, because it can actually be the truth or the untruth, but it's taking whatever those are. So it's starting here in your personal beliefs and bringing it to the truth or the untruth, whatever that is, but through a system of thinking, arriving at a certain reality. And where that becomes rationalizing is you're taking what you already believe to be true, what you already hold important in your heart, what you value, where your ideals are, and you're taking that and bringing it to a reality that may or may not be true, but you're finding your way there through your own initial biases and beliefs. Whereas reason would be reading and learning and researching, studying to find the truth, whatever that truth may be, and bring that into your belief system. And I think that it's just, I just think it's a good thing to think about and be mindful of, because it is very, very easy to jump the line from reasoning into rationalizing, and you might not even be consciously aware that you're doing it. I find myself doing that all the time. When I read articles in the newspaper, I will start to read the byline. You know, you read the headline and you read the first couple sentences, you don't necessarily get the full substance of the story. You have to keep reading to see the full scope. But I will oftentimes find myself coming to judgments in my head about the outcome when I'm not there yet. I do think that it's very, very easy to sort of cross that line from reasoning to rationalizing, because you're kind of using the same thinking either way. You know, you're using your brain to try to make sense of things. But if you're making sense of something in the wrong direction, meaning you're taking some truth or non-truth and making it real by fitting it into your belief, as opposed to taking your belief, yourself, and finding your way to the truth in spite of those beliefs, in spite of what your biases might be. That's reasoning, and that's what we all should strive for. And none of us is immune to it, so that's why I'm here as a friendly reminder to just try to be aware of that, and I'll try to do it for myself as well. And if I ever stray into where I'm rationalizing and not being reasonable, please feel free to let me know, because I'm always trying to get better too. So anyway, just something I was thinking about today. I will catch up with you all again very soon. Have a great rest of your day, and remember, don't be afraid to question the consensus.